I'd just like to explain something about the video you're about to see. When I wrote and shot it and was putting most of it together, this Pastor Terry Jones character was seriously going to burn copies of the Qu'ran on September 11th. Since I put the video together, the situation changed, and he's supposedly holding off on that as he meets with the people organizing and running the Ground Zero Mosque. But considering that a lot of people probably do support and still support what Mr. Jones was doing, I'm still releasing the video. Just please keep that in mind and watch this in context. Thank you. So here we are, 9 years after the September 11th terrorist attacks, and sadly many in the West, especially in America, haven't learned a thing. There are people like Reverend Terry Jones, who is staging a supposed international burning of the Qu'ran. This is being internationally condemned by people of all faiths and political stripes, though in Emperor Harper's case is probably with his fingers crossed behind his back, but that's a different issue. While I have some faith that the majority of Americans and Christians still have enough decency to be revolted by this, the sad truth is that this lunatic's supporters are vocal and have no intention of backing down. The irony and hypocrisy of this is nothing short of astonishing. We all know how Christian fundamentalists, like their Muslim counterparts, have the little habit of totally ignoring what their own holy books say, but this takes the cake. Jesus clearly said, among other things, to forgive and love your enemies, not piss them off even further. Speaking of which, I guess the right wing doesn't really support the troops in Homeland as much as they insist that the rest of us should, because it doesn't take a genius to see that this is going to give Al-Qaeda and the Taliban even more reason to kill Westerners. If the more fanatical Muslims out there got so mad over a racist cartoon of Muhammad, or putting him in a bear suit in South Park, how do you figure they're going to react to some gun-toting hick in Florida wanting to burn their holy book? Or let me put that another way, how do these same righteous Christians react if anyone called for an international Burn the Bible Day? I know that this is a hard concept for these xenophobic douchebags to get, but Christianity is not the only faith in the universe, and it is very likely not the one true faith. Which leads me to the real scope of this problem. Mr. Jones, yet another minister I will refuse to call by title, may have only 50 parishioners, but there are definitely a lot of other vocal and influential conservatives out there who agree with him, and not just because this guy is a supporter of Fred Phelps. Between this and the so-called Ground Zero Mosque, tons of conservative pundits are calling for everything from the expulsion of Muslims from America to actually attacking this community center physically if it ever gets built. By the way, I'd just like to remind everyone that in the real world, the center is about as much of a mosque as a YMCA is a church. It's sadly getting very common in the States for innocent people to be beaten up, stabbed, and left for dead just for being Muslim. It's even very easy to find remarks on Facebook, YouTube, and God only knows how many blogs to the effect that every last Muslim should be wiped out just because they have the nerve to breathe the same air as the righteous Christian folk. Hey, wait a second, where have we heard all of this before? A certain race is expendable, even spawned of the devil. We must take back the land from the minorities and unbelievers. We must smash their homes, businesses, places of worship, and generally terrorize them. We must burn their books. We must destroy the whole people. Only we are the master race. Geez, does anyone else remember when it really was silly to compare the Christian right to the Nazis? Here's the final reason why this is not only ironic and hypocritical, but just plain stupid. All this is being done on the anniversary of 9/11 to supposedly defend the honor of the people who were killed that day. Now, far be it for me to presume what dead people would think, but doesn't it seem a little stupid to defend the victims of religious intolerance and violence with even more religious intolerance and violence? What exactly makes it so horrible for Osama bin Laden to call for a holy war, but so acceptable for Terry Jones and his ilk to do the exact same thing? If Jesus does exist, and there's any truth whatsoever to what the gospel says, then I can pretty much guarantee that right now he is weeping over what is yet again being done in his name. Enough said.